Hi everyone, I'm Evan Mitchell, and I'm here on stage at the glorious Isabel Bader Centre for the Performing Arts, where this weekend it's going to be absolutely the place to be, where the Kingston Symphony Orchestra is going to be performing one of our fabulous Masterworks concerts this Sunday, and it's going to be really stupendous. It's one I'm looking forward to very much, because we are performing 3 orchestral classics, and that's the whole point, because this concert is entitled Old and New, and it's going to examine just exactly what it is about a particular piece of music that makes it a classic. So we're starting with Rossini's immortal overture to his opera William Tell. And this was actually Rossini's very last opera that he composed. He retired at the ripe old age of 39 because he had been so successful during his career that he was able to retire early and pursue his life's other great love, and that is the consumption of food. Now, Rossini, of course, was a spectacular composer. He was more well known for his comic operas than his serious operas. And coupled with the fact that William Tell is about 5 or 6 hours long, this ended up not being Rossini's most popular opera. But of course, the Overture is one of the most classic pieces in the repertoire. And outside of the amazing gallop at the end, which represents the Swiss Army coming over the Alps, and of course has been co-opted as the theme to The Lone Ranger, this particular piece has 3 other sections that set the tone and in a way tell the story of the opera quite brilliantly. We open with a spectacular depiction of the dawn in a genius stroke of orchestration. Rossini gives this material to 5 solo cellos, and it's just a remarkable gesture. Then after that we have some really incredible storm music. Rossini was so good at writing music that depicted a colossal storm, a torrential downpour, and my very favorite storm music in his repertoire was from this overture in William Tell. And then after the storm breaks, we have a magnificent back and forth between the principal flute and the English horn, and this represents 2 shepherds calling to each other, trying to reassemble their flocks after all of the craziness of the storm. So a true masterpiece, and absolutely every inch a classic. After that, we're going to be performing one of the most popular pieces in the repertoire, and of course this is Tchaikovsky's unbelievable Violin Concerto. And this is a classic. It's virtually been a classic since it was written. Of course, Tchaikovsky often suffered from very poor reviews at the premieres of his concertos, but the piece has lived on to become, I would say, one of the top 5 most performed violin works that you'll see with the symphony orchestra. And from this old classic, we're going to have a new twist, an incredible fresh take on it, by virtue of our soloist, Benedicte Lauziere, who is the unstoppable concertmaster of the Kitchener-Waterloo Symphony Orchestra. She is a true phenom of the violin, and I think that actually, of all the pieces on this program, my favorite is going to be the Tchaikovsky, simply because I know that Benedicte is going to play this with such poise and virtuosity. It's going to be absolutely incredible, probably like no interpretation I've ever heard, and so I'm looking forward to this piece with great excitement. And last but certainly not least, we're performing Sibelius' sweeping 2nd Symphony, which is actually my favorite symphony of Sibelius' set of 7. But, really, they're all great. I mean, Sibelius was an absolute symphonic master, and I think one of the few 20th century composers, one of but a handful of composers in the 20th century who really deserved to be named as a symphonic master amongst the likes of Brahms and Beethoven and Mozart. What's so fabulous about this symphony is you get Sibelius' unique symphonic voice, but beyond that, just incredible orchestration, monumental moments of passion and deep emotion, lightheartedness, the entire emotional gambit, and a sense of Finnish nationalism. And of course, that's not something you hear in symphonic works every day, but it's really something to behold. The finale of this work is one of the most riveting and astonishing things I've ever heard in my life, and I can't think of a better way to close out this concert. So, 3 bona fide orchestral classics, a stupendous violin soloist, and your Kingston Symphony Orchestra performing some truly remarkable music. I can't think of a more successful recipe for a wonderful concert. So, the Isabel is going to be the place to be this Sunday afternoon. Don't miss out.